Yesterday, I posted a video on why WordPress is actually finally good and why everyone should start using it in 2022. Within the video, I actually put some pros and cons of WordPress. Well, one of the cons was how hackers do like to target WordPress for website hacking. This is a big issue, of course, but there's a lot of things you can do to protect yourself, and a lot of them are very, very basic, and that's what we're going to go through in today's video. Now, I'm not actually going to go into why hackers want to target WordPress specifically, but I'm actually going to tell you the exact ways that you can actually protect yourself and protect your clients' websites in the future. So I've done some research, and a few of the ways hackers like to hack with your WordPress websites are through brute force login attempts, cross-site scripting, database injections, backdoors, denial of service attacks, and lastly, phishing attacks. Now, some of these might sound pretty scary, and to be honest with you, they are. If your WordPress website does get hacked, it can be an absolute nightmare, depending on the level of hacker, of how to recover your site, and you might lose it completely. But with the things I'm about to tell you right now and the steps you can take, you should be able to be pretty secure, and you shouldn't have to worry about this anytime soon, especially with the way WordPress's security is a lot better now. In the past, you would have struggled, but now there's a lot of good security features and you can really keep your site secure. So firstly, you should secure your login procedures. There's quite a few, and I can't remember all off the top of my head to record it in one little segment. So I'm just going to look down here and tell you. So use strong passwords. Use a strong password generator, like a 16-character password generator. You can get these for free off the internet. Literally just press generate and it will generate you one. These are really, really good. Enable two-factor authentication. You've probably got this if you've got Facebook, Twitter or Instagram, or a crypto account. Essentially what happens is if you log in, you will require a different, or let's say you will require a phone, and they will send you a text message with a code, and that way there's two different ways you need to enable to be able to get in the website. This is a really, really good way and a really good thing you should set up. Don't make your account username admin. This is if they're doing a brute force attack, this is the first thing they're going to try. So don't use admin, use something, well, essentially use a random password generator again for the username. But of course use a separate one that you use to your password. Limit login attempts to 3 at a time, and if they get it wrong, ban the IP for 24 hours. That's a really good one. Add a Google captcha or any captcha to the login section. This will kind of get rid of bots and bits like that. And lastly, enable an auto logout. A lot of people like to keep their WordPress site logged in, especially if you have got a 16 code thing. It can be a nightmare to log back in every single time. But trust me, it's more of a nightmare trying to recover a hacked WordPress account. So please just do the enable auto logout. It will save you a lot of money and a lot of time. Secondly, use a secure website host. There's loads of different hosts out there that you can charge, or you can essentially pay a penny for, but these are not secure at all. They will host your site, but one, it'll be extremely slow, and two, there's going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of other crap sites on your same little bit of hardware. So don't do it. The chance of getting hacked when you use a really bad hosting provider is 10 times what it would be on a really good host. The third thing is to update your WordPress and update your plugins. It is really crucial that you keep WordPress and all your plugins updated. When WordPress or the community find a vulnerability, they'll send it to WordPress. They will instantly put out an update, or they'll wait a few days depending on how big the vulnerability is, and they'll push out a big update, and that will secure it. Now, any sites that aren't updated will still have that vulnerability. So what you'll want to do is instantly update the WordPress update when it comes out, and the same with your plugins as well. The fourth thing to do is install a good security plugin. This is essential for a WordPress site, especially if you want a secure site, and the best two is WordFence and Bulletproof Security by AIT Pro. These two are fantastic. I would not recommend installing them together, but have one or the other. Bulletproof Security by AIT Pro, I think you can pay that one off and have it on limited sites, so that's a really, really good one to have. But a free version is still fantastic. It's more than most people need. But WordFence, again, as well, that's a very recognized one, so that's probably the better one to get. The fifth thing to do is install SSL. Now, I'm not going to go into this one too much just because SSL is quite simple. A lot of hosts automatically put it on your site. But if you don't see a little green lock or HTTPS, please contact your hosting provider and speak to them about it. It shouldn't cost much at all. I think $11.99 max, but there are some free ways to get it out there. They're a little bit harder, but I would just pay the $11.99 and get the SSL installed on your site, especially if you're an e-commerce website. Finally, buy a secure theme. Themes are extremely common in WordPress, and there are so many out there, and there's so many fantastic ones, but there's also a lot of bad ones. And the reason they're bad is because, one, they're going to be bloated with bad code, they're going to be terrible, and the performance on your website is going to be absolutely horrific. And two, if you download a free one off the internet, off some crap random site, it is most likely going to have malware in it, and it will hack your site in the future. It might not straight away, it might not a year down the line, but at some point I can guarantee you there's a little backdoor in there that they're going to be able to get in and ruin your website essentially, and going to ask you for money. So don't buy an unsecure theme. Go on websites like Theme Forest and buy a theme off there. That's the best way to do it. There are many more things I could go into, but I think for newbies to WordPress and even advanced people, these are the best things you can do for your WordPress website to make it secure.